Yeah. Well, pretty much, just film stuff every time I go down and just collect stuff over time. It's not like I'm somebody who's decided to make a film about the place. I'm going to go there over a month or so. I just sort of collect this stuff. Now, I've made a longer film called The Wildlife. Jersey City, The Wildlife and Me. And I think Mandy was working at Liberty State Park at the time and contacted me about, possibly doing a film festival or something at the park. And then I decided to make a film just about Liberty State Park. So I took the stuff out of the other film and then shot some stuff for it. And there's plays in the rail station on a loop down there pretty much all the time. I guess I haven't been down there into the rail station in a while, so basically I'm a one-man operation. If you see me in there, I just set the camera on a tripod and walk away from or to it. So it's,
How many years is that film? How many years of filming was involved in there?
There's probably stuff over 4 or 5 years in that, I guess.
Very cool.
Yeah, because some people say, how come I go there and I don't see anything? Because this is all stuff over a period of time and it's compressed into a shorter space. Mary?
Beautiful film. It's very inspiring. I have 3 questions. One, the Interpretive Center, what's happening with that?
It's going to open up soon. It's all being renovated. It was closed after Sandy. So I've been inside and had a sneak peek. There were like screens, so I'll be having some of my video playing in there. Photographs by wildlife photographer, and some really nice displays. It's going to be very good. So a good resource for the schools. And they have a school trips going.
The other thing is, let's say, by some chance you have wildlife that's not right in your backyard, and you think the Liberty State Park might be a good place to put that creature. Is that not a wise idea?
Oh, I don't know.
Like skunks and such.
Give us a hint what you think.
So you're going to catch some skunks.
I had 7 baby skunks in my yard, and I didn't go, so I took some to Liberty State Park, I took some to South Mountain
Right.
Reserve, just because I didn't think they would all survive.
How old were they? I don't know.
They didn't spray yet,
Right.
so under 3 months.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. In the film, you can see there's an past of that one. I happened to be there when somebody let it out of the cage, so they're trapped in their backyard. I don't know if there's any, if you're allowed to release wildlife in different places. Might be a good idea to get the skunks out of your backyard. I don't know how well they would do or at what point they were able to survive on their own. I'm not really up on that.
Hey, John, could you tell us how people can see your films? Because I know they're all available.
Yeah, I'm on Vimeo as John Dunstan, so these are all accessible to the public anytime you want to watch it, or if you want to share it on social media, or show schools, actually show stuff for Steve in his classroom. Watch it first and make sure it's all appropriate. Some of them might get a bit more political, and maybe not for school, but this is a good one for everybody.
And just tell people about what I think is your first film, your backyard.
Oh, the first film I made, this finished film, was called Secret Life of My Small Urban Backyard. That film actually got into the International Wildlife Film Festival in Montana. They gave me a merit award. They also gave merit awards to Edinburgh's people, so I'm happy about that.
You left out an important piece of that film. The wildlife in his backyard was entirely insects. Very cool. Question.
How might we share your work in support of what Sam's trying to do?
Sorry?
How might we share your work in social media in support of what Sam's trying to promote?
Well, if you're making any posts about opposing, say, golf course expansion or anything, you can of course link to anything I have and add it in there so people can see what's there. So it's not just like, you know, pose the golf course and then people say, well, there's nothing there. I went there and there was only rodents. You know, like some people might say.
So Sam, maybe that's a segue for you to jump in.
So this is a question for both filmmakers. You touched on this only momentarily beforehand. I noticed that in both films they went over multiple seasons. For these two films in particular, how many months did it take to get all the footage for all of it?
Oh, this is all collected over a number of years.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, specifically just making the film. It's just I kind of like to document this on a regular basis and then put it
Roughly
together.
4 years? Or
Probably 4 or
Okay.
5 years in there.
When you captured the long-eared owl,
Yeah.
was that your first capture of that particular owl?
Yeah, it's the
Have you
only
ever-
time I've ever seen that particular kind of owl. Yeah, I've seen, in the area, I've seen great horned owls. I do have footage of that, but that was after this film was made. There's also, I've seen a barn owl there, I didn't get to record it. And there used to be more short-eared owls there.
Yeah, I never saw this one for the first time.
Yeah, I've only seen that one that time here.
There's a question.
Okay, we've got one on each end, so.
I just have a quick comment. I would say the pacing of the film, the music, and the sound. I found myself taking a nice deep breath somewhere in the middle that I usually only get to take when I'm actually out there. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the sound. The music considerations for this were great.
Yeah.
What was your sort of aesthetic for coming up with the particular soundtrack that you ended up using?
Well, the soundtrack on this, I had used some film that a friend of mine, Michael Jurek, had made for another film. So I used some of that. And then I also used some film from one of these guys who makes his music available. His name's McLeod.
Yep.
I forget his first name, but a lot of people use his stuff in the music because he will offer this as a free resource, and that also gets his own music, all abilities spread where people can know about him.
And did you edit your film?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did everything. So you're a filmmaker too?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. What are you making films about?
Chromium contamination in Jersey City.
Oh, good. Yeah, I remember when the Boys Club was closed because of that. There was like, that whole area was built on chromium contaminated land, so I think it's really worth exploring.
There are 150 sites of chromium contamination in Jersey City.
Yeah.
Please stay afterwards and make sure that we get your contact information. We'll put it on all social media.
Let me interrupt, and afterwards, sounds like we have a lot of conversations we want to have, but we only have a few more minutes. Want to give Sam a chance to give everybody an update on the park and the fight to protect the park.
Thanks, Steve. So, there's a war going on for Liberty State Park's future again. The essence of park history for 43 years is that people have put democracy into action and have fought for a free park behind the statue and have opposed privatization no matter what revenue has been promised. So it was time to get a Liberty State Park Protection Act enacted, and it was moving forward. And then after a dozen people spoke, among a busload of people who went down to the Environment Committee in November, a representative of the multi-billionaire owner of the golf course put forth their revised plan to privatize and destroy Caven Point. It's 22 acres. As the film showed, it's a wildlife habitat, it's a migratory bird habitat and nesting area. Hundreds of kids get environmental education there, and a few thousand people go out there just to enjoy the serenity from October 1st to March 1st. And so, filled with misinformation and campaign donations to politicians, They did stop it in the last legislative session. The Senate voted for it, but when they voted for it, they already knew that the Assembly Speaker was not gonna put it up for a vote. So, it has been reintroduced by Assemblyman Raj Mukherjee in the Assembly and Brian Stack in the Senate, because unfortunately Senator Cunningham, who was the prime sponsor, really sabotaged it because her main contributor was the golf course billionaire, and she wanted a compromise. And she got in a room, the Baykeeper, Greg Ramo, and myself, we met, out of respect for her, met with their lobbyist and her lawyer. There was, of course, no common ground, and Cunningham said, we need a compromise, not understanding or caring about it. Compromise meant that they get Caven Point in return for their promised, revenue for the park. So, the battle goes back to the legislature. There will be a Senate committee, there'll be an Assembly committee hearing if we get past that, then they'll go to the legislature, and with everyone's support, hopefully in May, when they have a lot of voting sessions, it will be passed, and it will get to the governor, who is friends with the billionaire, but I feel there'll be so much pressure on the governor to do the right thing that he will sign it. But there was a column in the record that said that some legislators are planning on behalf of the billionaire to put forth their own Liberty Park Act. And that is gonna mean a battle on two fronts, supporting the Liberty State Park Protection Act and stopping their privatization bill, which would be the billionaire's attempt to shape the whole future of the park. So with your support, we're gonna start a petition within a week or two, the Friends of